that pause was in remembrance of Alex, who is not here with us tonight to start the other side of the intro. He texted me earlier and said, "Hey man, I'm going to be on the podcast tonight, but I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to stay the whole time. I've been feeling like crap all day." And I texted him back, "You bum." And then he said, "It's been coming out both ends all day." So he's got the oops and the poops. His garage door and attic both have holes in them. And he's not here and has not texted me back. I told him he should go get, a trash can to oops in and a bucket to poops in, but he hasn't done it. But we all know if Alex had to sit on a bucket to poop, he's so short his legs will still dangle. He couldn't reach the ground because he's a little short fuck, and he's not here to make any kind of mean joke about me. So we're just going to talk shit about Alex for the next hour and a half. And our guest tonight has no idea who Alex is because he's not here. And I just DW, I just want you to make shit up. You just the meanest shit you can say. You're former military. I just want you to make some just out of the blue. Just interject with some mean shit about Alex, even though you don't know him or cannot see him.
I mean, overall, it can't be that difficult with him being Coast Guard.
Ooh, starting it off strong.
Yeah. I mean,
they're the frontline defense to the United States of America.
They are. I mean, they got to keep the water safe out there, I guess. I mean, they were jumping on submarines and stuff at one point, I seen.
They also had the worst fucking boats in the whole fleet of all fleets to get on. Like, they got their bitches out there. I'm just saying this because what Alex said. The toilets don't half work. Like, the boats all rust buckets and shit. He never was on a good boat.
I mean, that sounds pretty standard overall.
Right, look, today, this morning, whenever the hell it is. It's tonight. It's Thursday night, a week and a day ago when you're listening to this. But we have D.W. Lewis on. I don't know what the fuck D.W. stands for. We're going to talk about it and find out. But I call him D.W. because in the South, it's not W. It's W.
That's right.
And D.W. Lewis, Heathens Outdoors. And we're going to get into what we got going on with that. And I have a little story after he introduces himself a little bit better about how we are here to where we are today, because it was months and it was days, weeks, and then months in the making to get this to happen. So DW, first off, before we go anywhere else, what are you married? Do you have a girlfriend?
I am. I've been married for a little over 15 years now.
15 years. Okay. What does your wife call you?
I said
besides asshole.
Yeah. I was like, man, there's several, but usually it's babe.
No.
But no. Derek is my name. Yeah. Very rarely do I hear that.
All right, so I've been calling you DW because that's the only your name is not Derek on any of your social medias, right. And through none of the conversations we've had, have you said, "Hey, my name's Derek"?
That's right.
What your friends, your family, they all call you Derek?
Yeah. Everybody, for the most part, that's how I distinguish if you know me through social media or if we've actually met. You call me DW, I was like, all right, we've never actually met. You call me Derek, then I know we've had a formal conversation.
Man, fuck you. I thought we were friends.
Yeah. No. See, we just hadn't made it this far.
I'm calling you DW.
We just ain't made it that far yet. That's all.
Are you DERRICK or DEREK?
DERICK. The doctor messed up on my birth certificate.
That is the worst fucking Derek spelling I have never met anybody that is DERIK.
Right. Yep. Nope, I haven't either. That's like I said, the only thing I've been told is the doctor messed up on my birth certificate. It's supposed to have 2 R's.
Fuck that doctor.
Yep, exactly.
Hey, you got. Yeah, I would say that's probably to my knowledge of what I know, that's the weirdest spelling of Derek I've ever heard. But I'd much rather call it DW.
Yeah, yeah, and I mean, I like I said, that's even my friends and stuff. It's all transferred to everybody. Just calls me DW. The original plan behind it was the fact that, like, I owned a gun store when I got out of the Marine Corps, right? And when you own a gun store, you get a lot of friends, and they would go in and see my wife at the bar, and they'd be like, "Oh, you need to see your husband about this. You need to see your husband this." I would have friends coming up to me saying such and such, ask them to ask me, and it became thing. I'm like, do I actually know these people, or like, do they just know me through social media? And so that's what I did is I switched to DW Lewis for Derek Wayne Lewis, and I would kind of distinguish like who to take serious. If they're like, hey, so and so showed up, they call me Derek or they call me DW, and then from there I could kind of hash it out.
How do we spell Wayne? What kind of fucked up way are we spelling Wayne?
Nah, it's standard WAYNE.
Oh my God, they got that right.
Yep,
And
yep,
Lewis
yep,
right. They
yep,
just fucked
yep,
up the
yep,
first
yep,
name.
yep, yep. It was a Friday, man. He was ready to go home.
I think it would have been really cool if he'd have spelled your middle name Wayne, UAYEN, Wayne.
just to really mess it up, you know. I agree. I agree. It would have been great. But yeah,
I'm
no,
gonna start
that
calling you DU then.
yeah,
Duh.
yeah, yeah. I'm with it, man. I answered a lot of things really.
Oh, I'm sure you have. I'm sure you have. Well, hey, look, Alex usually does this beginning. Oh, before I get, uh, y'all go sign up on Patreon/dot something Bass and Brews podcast, or I don't fucking know. Alex does that part of it. We really do appreciate y'all doing that because it helps us pay for this podcast, as you hear everybody else say, because we don't have sponsors. But Alex, April 11th, as long as you don't get the oops and poops again, I'm not going to believe it until I see it, till he shows up. He better show up because I already got the campsite registered. But he's coming down April 11th. We're almost a month away
That's awesome.
from doing that. We're going to try to do a live podcast that Saturday, which is April 12th. I'm not sure how it's going to go. I'm going to bring all the shit. We're going to see how the internet connection works. If we can do it, we're going to do it. If not, you're going to have to listen to a legacy episode, or we're just going to record something locally. That's probably what we'll do. We'll just record locally if we can't go live. But our plan is to go live Saturday night, probably 7-ish. I don't know. And we're going to roll with that. But yeah, go sign up on Patreon, all that bullshit. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go listen to the episode before, and Alex will explain it very good. All right, DW, what is the journey that has brought you here to where you are today?
You talking about on this podcast specifically, or just where we're at today?
This is my podcast. I ask the questions, you answer them. I mean, I know you have a podcast of your own. You've been on some podcasts before. I don't know how those worked, but the host asks a question, and the fucking guest is supposed to answer the question. It's very simple, man. I didn't know
All
we
right.
had to go over
All
that
right.
in the
Yeah,
green
yeah,
room
you
before
right.
we started.
You right. You right.
I
You
mean,
right. I should have been tracking. I should have
it's
known better.
it's a
You're
pretty
right.
open-ended question. You can start from the day you came out the womb. I mean, I don't know. You tell me, what is the journey that has brought you here today to where you are?
Well, I would say so. You know, the journey that brought me here specifically was, I believe, our conversation between you and I started out about the Benjamin wheels for the kayak cart.
Mm-hmm.
And then prior up to that conversation and us meeting, it was just a kid that grew up in Kansas, and well, that's self-explanatory. Anybody in Kansas is ready to get out of Kansas as fast as possible. So I signed up for the Marine Corps, and you know, I did some things in the Marine Corps for about 8 years, and then I got out, and like I said, I got out at Paris Island. Well, in the Marine Corps, I was at 2nd Marine Division, 2nd CEB. Shout out engineers, baby. Let's go. Then I went to Paris Island on the range, and I taught recruits how to shoot the service rifle, get them to qualify, stuff like that.
For folks
And
who don't know, where's Paris Island?
oh yeah, so Beaufort, South Carolina.
Simply hell.
That's right. That's right. Yeah,
Sand flea
we
hell.
got him, boy. We got him.
And if you don't know anything about sand fleas, what I want you to do is go find your wife's tweezers and take those tweezers and start pulling every hair out of your arm, in your face, in your anywhere you have hair that's not covered by clothing. Just start pulling it out
Yep.
until for at least 4, 5, 6, 10 hours. And then after that, take some rubbing alcohol and then rub it all on all those hair follicle places that's a sand flea. Them little motherfuckers are some shit right there now.
They don't play. They don't
No.
play. They're violent. I don't play with them. Like you said, having clothing to fight them off is the only way, because you use no gnats, you use off, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, you can use DEET.
Yep.
And those motherfuckers do not care.
Yeah, no, not at all.
You got to put clothing on, because there ain't no bug spray out there to fuck with them. But I would rather have an infestation of real fleas before I've never had bed bugs. I know some people who have, and they are pretty fucking awful. But I think I'd rather have fucking bed bugs than have to spend a day with sand fleas.
Yep. I don't play with them. No, I have not. Thankfully.
Oh.
Now, it's not to say like I've slept in some sketchy motels now. Like,
you obviously hadn't spent enough time in the sketchy motels around Charleston if you've never had bed bugs.
You're right. I'd rather come home. It's close enough.
I had a friend that they went to Great Wolf Lodge. I can't remember what location it was. It was Columbia or Charlotte. I guess it was Charlotte, maybe. Anyway, they woke up one morning and went in their kids' room, and they could see the bed bugs on them. And they, all their shit, to kill bed bugs is with heat. And so they put all their clothing and shit that they had, Great Wolf Lodge, put it in the dryer and just like let it go. And fucking their shoes shrunk, their clothes shrunk. Like, it pretty much ruined all their shit. And then they were worried about bringing them back to their house. So pretty much everything they took there, they fucking destroyed before they came home, because they didn't want to bring the fucking bed bugs home.
Oh no, man, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't blame them though. Like those things are nasty, dude. I don't know. Like, I've never had them, but I've heard the horror stories, and I ain't.
Well, you have sand fleas, and so even though they don't follow you home and infest your house, they are worse than bed bugs in my uneducated or opinion of never having bed bugs. It would suck to have to fumigate your home,
right?
But the sand fleas are a bitch, and Paris Island is known for. What is that like? Did you come from Kansas straight to Paris Island?
No. So whenever you recruit west of the Mississippi River, you go to San Diego, the boot camp over there. And if you're east of the Mississippi River, then you come to Paris Island. And so I did my boot camp and Marine combat training in California, San Diego. And then I got orders to Lejeune.
And you got to Lejeune, and the first 4 hours there, you're like, where the fuck am I? What the fuck? Where all these bugs come from? Because Kansas and California, there ain't no bugs like we got down here in the Carolinas.
Right. Yeah, no, that was that's when I definitely learned about the sand fleas, the gnats, whatever anybody calls them anymore.
Well, those are two different things. Now you got gnats, and all they do is they they're kamikaze your nose and your eyes and your ears, and they're
no-see-ums is what they call them. And so the sand fleas are actually a little bug that people use for bait.
We call all right, hold on. So I grew up in South Carolina. Sand fleas and no-see-ums are the same thing to me.
Right.
The
Sand
fleas are what you see people using the scoop to scoop up to use to catch croaker and shit.
Yep.
But we did not discriminate. Like, to me, sand fleas
Yep.
and no-see-ums were the little fucking bitches
Yep.
because you
Yep.
can't see them that bite you.
Yep.
So
Yep.
let's get that straight. But
Yep.
yes.
No, for sure. And that's where, like, when I said gnats, I didn't mean gnats. I meant no-see-ums. But yeah, a lot of people are like, "Oh, well, I use sand fleas for bait," and I'm like, "Nah, you ain't using these for bait. Like, they ain't going on
But
a
you
hook,
can't see
bro."
them.
Yeah, they feel like it feels like they're big enough to go on a bait when they bite you. But
Uh-huh. And they leave whelps almost
yeah,
like a
they'll
chigger.
dig under the skin too if you
Yeah.
let them keep eating.
And hey, how about the chiggers? That was
Mm.
something new coming from Kansas and California. You ever had any chigger bites?
So yeah, in Kansas we had the little red chiggers. You get in a bush when you're quail hunting or
Mm.
something, and then you get the little red chiggers. I haven't really, I don't know, I haven't really got hit with them here, but I know in Kansas, Missouri, hunting up there, you can end up with some of those red chiggers all up and down your legs, and those things, man, they're violent. They ain't like fire ants, but they'll get you.
Well, the
They'll
shit
get
lasts.
you.
It's like having fucking chicken pox for two
Yeah,
weeks after they
yeah,
bite you.
yo,
It's fucking
yeah,
crazy. And then, I grew up getting chiggers a lot. People say, "Oh, you got to put clear fingernail polish on them because they thought they buried into your
right.
skin," which is a complete farce
Yep,
because they just bite you. They don't
yep,
bury under your skin. So then here you are putting clear fingernail polish, whatever the fuck burning hellhole that shit is, all in all these little chigger bites. And so it's just terrible because then your skin dries up like when you put super glue on it and it burns like a
right.
motherfucker and it doesn't even help.
Yep, yep.
Doesn't
No,
even help.
I think it was like I think my worst one with them. I'm pretty sure I remember taking a bath in Dawn dish soap because I was covered in it so
Which is stupid because that doesn't
bad.
help either.
Yeah,
Doesn't do anything. I used to there was this Aveeno oatmeal bath thing.
yeah.
And I remember getting them so bad a couple times that I was soaking in this oatmeal bath that
Just
nothing
hoping.
helps. Yeah.
Yep. No.
Hey,
No.
I will say this though, and this is oh shit. Every time I touch my fucking microphone, it does that. I don't even know why.
Yep.
But anyway, so Zanfel, Zanfel. It is a poison ivy, poison oak, sumac thing that it's been around earlyish 2000s is when I found it. And then when I had a job where I worked in like corporate safety and I ran into Zanfel at this thing, and I'd used Zanfel before because I was a wildland firefighter. Everybody drink. I was a wildland firefighter, and I'm very allergic to poison oak. And Zanfel was the only thing that take care of this. It comes in a little small toothpaste tube. It's very gritty. It's almost like rubbing sand, but you rub it on your poison ivy, poison oak, and shit like that. And I met their marketing guy at the time. This has been 2018, and I was telling, oh my God, Zanfel has saved me with poison ivy and poison oak. So he sent me all this shit. And they had worked with the military. I don't know exactly where, somewhere in the Southeast. They had worked with the military, and the military was using it for chiggers. And it actually worked. So,
Really?
yeah. Yeah. Hey, shout out Zanfel. If you happen to listen to this podcast, we'd love to be
Yeah.
sponsored by you.
That's right.
But yeah, Zanfel works great for all the poison trees around here, and apparently works well for chigger bites if you get them.
Outstanding. I mean, I'm sure there's somebody listening that will probably benefit from that.
I tell you what, if you've
Heard of it.
never had a chigger bite or a poison oak on your nuts and butthole, and I speak from experience, you have not lived life to the fullest.
Oh boy.
Because it's
That's
just so
right.
good. You scratch it, and it feels so good when you scratch it, and then a couple hours later, it feels like somebody has taken a box of matches and set them on fire. It's wonderful.
Yep.
Good
Yep.
stuff.
Yeah, no, spot on with your analysis there, though. It is a great
Yeah.
feeling.
Yep. And the worst thing about having poison ivy on your balls or poison oak on your nuts is you ask your significant other to, like, can you please help me scratch this? And they're like, no, I'm not touching your balls.
You will any other time.
I mean, yeah, until you're married for 15 years, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing that either.
Right.
Hey, all right. So we got DW here, as we talked about. We got a little side tangent on biting bugs
That's right.
down there in Beaufort, South Carolina. And if you don't know where Beaufort is, it's between Charleston and Savannah. It's kind of hole in the wall area. Beautiful, great fishing. Lots of little creeks and inlets. You got the ocean right there. It's a good time.
It is. I agree, man. We do have a good fishing estuary for sure. I can't speak on too much about other states and places, but I've been all over the Gulf Coast anyways, chasing redfish for the Elite Series, and I don't know. I feel like I catch fish easier. We're here in Beaufort, you know. Like
We got the Savannah River spilling out all that nutrient rich, nitrogen rich, heavy metal, oil slick water coming out right there
Oh
around
yeah,
Beaufort. I
yeah,
mean, those fish there, if they're going to survive, they got to be strong. They can't be no little bitch ass fish coming out the Savannah River.
that is a fact, man. We do end up with some. I'd say at least once a year, man. There's always some type of advisory. Be advised, there's bacteria in the water. Like I don't know how all that works, bro, but about every year we get at least one.
Yeah.
Like I say,
Well,
I don't know if it comes from the Savannah River or where it comes from, but
well, fuck yes, the Savannah River. That's the bitch
it's
feeding
got to
all the
be.
nasty
Yeah,
shit
yeah.
into the water.
It's got to be right.
You're too far south from Charleston for all the sewage leaking up when it floods.
Right.
It's the Savannah River. The Savannah River's fucking up everything down there.
I
And
could definitely see that.
so if y'all don't know yet, we do have a wide range of folks fishing. Obviously, there's a ton of guys and gals that are fishing bass, kayak, salt, freshwater. DW here, he's a saltwater guy, and he's a kayak guy. And we like to mix it up a little bit here on Bass and Brews, and we like to get some of these saltwater people out here because I don't know how long you've been kayak fishing, but we've had the saltwater guys that are kayak guys we've had on in the past. They have been doing it a lot longer than most of our freshwater kayak folks. Like the kayak fishing really was a saltwater deal in the late 90s to early 2000s from some folks that we know before it really branched out to what it is now on the freshwater side. So how long you're primarily in a kayak?
Yep.
How long have you been in the kayak? When'd you get it? What did you start with and why?
So yeah, I started with a $300 Tamarack from Walmart just to dabble in it. You know, like I had a 19-foot center console, 135 on the back, like bay boat, just out there. And I never really I never really caught any sport fish out of my boat. You just you can't get where you need to get with them. It's
So you
simply
sucked at fishing out of a boat.
horrible at fishing out of
There
a
we go.
boat, man.
Hey,
Yeah,
we're all
yeah, I'm
about
the worst.
honesty. We're
Yep,
all about
yep,
honesty here. You
yep.
don't have to beat around the bush. You
Yeah,
sucked at fishing
yeah,
out of a
yeah,
boat.
yeah, yeah,
Fuck that
exactly.
center console.
That's where I'm at, man. It was sharks and stingrays constantly.
Fuck yeah.
So,
Did you ever eat stingrays?
I have had stingray. It's not my go-to. It's not my favorite by any means, but
Shit, that's like 90% of the scallops we
scallops.
eat.
Yep, yep, yep.
Well, not stingray, skates and
Right.
shit like that. But yeah,
Yeah. No, 100%.
delicious.
So yeah, no, like you said, I sucked at fishing out of a boat, so I got a kayak because I could see the redfish. Right, you can see them telling. You're out there in 3 foot of water, 2 foot of water, and them damn fish are in 6 inches of water that you can't even cast to. So the idea sparked in my head. Well, you get a freaking kayak and you just get on over there to them and you'll catch them. Well, sure as shit, that's what's happened. I got a kayak and I started catching redfish. So and trout and flounder. I started actually catching sport fish. So then I upgraded. just like anybody getting into the kayak world, you upgrade, you upgrade, you upgrade, and then I started really enjoying it. I got rid of the boat. Like I don't mess with boats at all. I'm a guy in a 5-gallon bucket shaped like a boat out there catching fish.
We've said
That's
this
what I
before
am.
on the podcast too. Is your kayaks are made out of the same fucking materials? Your 5-gallon bucket.
Yep. HDPE, man. It's great. And
There-
then one of
Hey,
the
you know what
things about
HD?
our
Do you know what
what's that?
HDP stands for?
I do not.
Hairy damn pussy.
I should have seen that coming. I should have. Not gonna lie, but it makes sense. So, but yeah, no. One of the things about our waters too, and the reason why that I went to the motorized kayak portion, which I know is frowned upon to some of the purists out there and
Man,
stuff,
fuck them
but
guys.
yeah, no, I
You know
agree.
what? It's your kayak. You do it. The
Yeah,
fuck you want.
100%, 100%. And you get into that struggle of trying to find tournaments though. A lot of tournaments, if you have a motor, they're like, oh, you can't fish with us. So that was one of the struggles that I ran into. But at the end of the day, if people came and fished our waters, we have some of the most dangerous waters on the East Coast. We have the highest tide swings, we have the strongest tides.
Mm.
So it's more of a safety factor when you are in a kayak in our waters because you're not paddling when our tide starts rolling in or rolling out and you need to get back up river. You're not paddling against it. You're not pedaling against it. I don't. You know what I'm saying? You're just not. So that's one of the things that really dialed me into the motor kayak scene is I started with a paddle. I paddled for about 2.5 years, and it was a
Mm.
struggle, man. I've been, like I said, it was 2012. So what are we now? 2025. I've been in the game for 13 years now, ballpark. And if you're gonna be on the East Coast over here on these waters, you're gonna want a motor. It makes it so much more enjoyable. And after I got the motor, that's when I started. I was like, all right, this is cool. Like I can travel 15, 20 miles
Mm.
and run about 3.5 miles an hour, dude. And I can get to different spots where if you're paddling, you got to paddle and you got to hope the fish are there. And then you got to figure out how you're going to get back, So
Yeah. Tide's
it's,
going out and
yeah.
the land starts getting smaller. You're
Yo,
like, damn, I ain't got no goddamn cell
yo,
service. It's gonna be
yo,
12 hours before I get back home. And then the
yo.
fucking Coast Guard are out there looking for you because you hadn't come home to eat your hamburger. Your wife cooked you.
Yo. Well, my wife's Filipino now. She might have some lumpia and Ponce and all that, but it's all right. It's good eating.
There we go. Hey, what kind of kayak and what kind of motor are you running right now?
So right now I have an Old Town Predator. It's
Fuck
got a
you. You know
45
what?
pound thrust Minn Kota.
Alex isn't here to stand with DW on the Old Town. I'm a Hobie guy. I got a Hobie.
My
Alex
teammate's
has
a
the Old
Hobie guy.
Town.
Yep.
I mean,
What
hey,
Hobie you got?
I got a
You got a
PA
compass?
14.
Oh, you got a PA? Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's what
No,
my buddy has.
bitch, I'm
Yep.
too fat for anything less than a PA.
Yeah,
and
no,
I
my
and I bass fish, so I
oh
got
yeah,
more
yeah,
shit on my fucking kayak than should ever be on there.
yeah. You run a live scope, dual screens.
No, I don't have live scope, no dual screens, but I got
No.
I got my fat ass on there. I got 80-pound thrust Minn Kota on the front,
Yeah, let's
which
go.
then means I've got like 100 pounds in lithium fucking batteries in a box, and I got a
Yo.
lithium battery for my graph, and I got
Yo.
bass fishermen think they need every goddamn thing in Bass Pro Shops on their boat all at once. We just carry too much shit, but that's where we are. I love it. Bitch has got a hole in it, and I still have not fixed, and I still haven't fixed my trolling motor, and fishing season is sneaking up on me really fast.
Bro, yeah, you gotta get on that,
Oh my
boy.
god, it's don't even
Coming.
start. Don't even start.
Where you got a
Hey,
hole at?
in the scupper from the
Oh,
fucking
really?
Hobie wheels.
Yep.
And
Yep.
so it's not an easy fix. I got a plastic stapler, and then I'm going to staple it, melt it, staple it,
Yep.
and then I'm just going to take goddamn, I'm having a brain fart. What's the marine putty? Fuck, I'll think of it later.
Yeah,
But there's a
the
marine.
goop.
No,
No,
it's
not
not
the goop.
goop. It's I'll think of it later. I'll
I
look
got
it
you.
up here when you start talking. But no, it's a marine putty. It's been around for a long time. It's a creme de la creme for marine putties. I'm just gonna putty the fuck out of it. But the problem
Right.
I have is I can't use the scupper wheels anymore because it'll just reopen that wound.
Yep.
And I got to figure out how to get my shit in the water, and that's why I haven't done anything, because I just get so distraught over what to do. But back to
That
you,
makes
you're
sense.
our guest, and I've talked about this on the podcast, so everybody
Good.
shouldn't know. We
I
don't need
was
to
curious.
rehash it.
I just want to shout out those Benjamin Wills in the card. He made me one more time,
I
because
know.
the
That's
scupper
probably
plugs were scaring me.
what I need to go to. But man, like his wheels are badass, especially for folks that are on the coast and
Yep.
you're dragging it through sand and shit. Pretty much everywhere I launch is a regular boat launch.
Right.
And there are some non-primitive or primitive type launches, but I can still take the wheels down to it. But yeah, those wheels are badass. And then Yak Attack has a gunnel wheel that you set the kayak on.
I seen
It's
that.
the same thing. But man, all that shit's like $400 or $500.
Yep.
I can get a fucking trailer for that.
Yep. I
But
feel
I
that.
don't
I
have
have
room
a
for a
trailer.
trailer. Yeah, well, I don't have room for a trailer. I live in a fucking townhome in a garage. My garage got more shit in it, so much shit in it, the kayak barely fits. I just don't have room for a fucking trailer.
I understand that. I am envious of not having a trailer too. One of my other buddies with his motorized kayak, he just puts his in the bed of his truck and simple puts it on the wheels. It's not too bad. The trailer does add an extra, I don't know, complication to it, I guess the word I'm looking for.
Yeah, not only that, at least for me around our lakes here in the summertime, if you got to back your trailer to get your kayak on there, you might be standing in line on like July, June, when school's out. You might be in line for fucking 30, 45 minutes, an hour waiting to just back your shit down there.
That's right.
I mean, like that shit, I don't want that either. I need you to get you and I got to talk after this and see what we can work out with some wheels. That's what we got to do.
Absolutely.
All right, so you got a motorized kayak, Old Town. You're down there fishing in the salt water. You're fishing for the main three bigs: redfish, Spanish mackerel, and mahi-mahi.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
That's exactly what we're doing. we just got to figure out how to run 60 miles out and 60 back, and then we'll be doing that.
You just said you do 3.5 miles an hour. So, I mean,
yeah,
you get out there, you spend the night fishing, and you get back, 4 o'clock the next day.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not opposed to trying it. What's one of those things, the EPIRB or whatever that you're supposed
the
to,
EPIRB.
like, yeah. You're gonna need one of those. Yeah. maybe some CETO that month, Yeah, no, that's the crazy part about our waters, man. You got to run 60 miles to get any of that stuff. If you drive, 4.5, 5 hours down in Florida, you can get that stuff, 2 or 3 miles off the beach, because the way the shelf comes down into Florida. I mean, you can go fish some reefs and stuff. There's stuff like that out there, but redfish, trout, flounder, man, that's our big ones.
Yep,
For sure.
You're lucky that you're in South Carolina, not North Carolina, because our flounder season here for recreational anglers is trash.
Heard about that.
Yeah.
They don't that's got some people salty, man.
Well, I mean, you've eaten flounder. That goddamn fish is delicious.
Great. Yes.
You catch one, you want to eat it.
Yep.
Ain't no better frying fish than a fucking flounder.
How is what's the regs? Like, did they shut it down completely? Didn't they?
I don't know. I don't know exactly. So what I'm going to say is not exactly what happened. But yes, they've shut it down completely, and then there was like a week or two you could keep one. I don't know what the slot size was, and then it's just open and closed. from my take on reading about it, because I don't fish saltwater, but my take on seeing the conversations about it is that it seems like, the commercial guys can go out there and fucking fish the fuck out of them, but then your recreational guys are the ones that, you keep one fucking 16-inch flounder once a year and stuff like that. So
That's
I'll say
crazy,
this. I'll
bro.
say this. There's something to say about the commercial versus recreational side of it. But I also do trust the biologists who are making decisions on our fisheries, because those folks, they do know.
Right.
But on the flip side of that, there's probably some stuff outside of the science that has a play into it. And we don't do politics on here, but there's some stuff on the outside of the science that probably has a play in on some of that shit too. So
I
I don't
agree with
know.
that.
I don't know. I don't do any saltwater fishing. I do love flounder, and they're delicious, and I will eat them all day long. So it
Yep.
sucks that, you can't go out there on a weekend and catch a handful and a half of flounder and go home and fry them up for supper.
That's
I
right.
mean, you can, as long as you just don't get caught.
It's only illegal till you get caught.
What's your favorite out of the Grand Slam to eat?
Redfish.
Redfish. No shit. Over
Through and
flounder,
through.
huh?
Yep.
Do you
Yep.
put lemons in their buttholes?
Nope. I
Okay.
I actually fillet them up and then I blacken them with some Cajun blackened seasoning.
Mm.
And then I get the thick cut bacon and I make blackened redfish BLT sandwiches. It's my favorite, hands
You,
down.
you just, I love you.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm
You,
gonna
and you
hug a far. I'm gonna come down there when I eat one of them goddamn redfish
Yep.
BLTs. I'm gonna bring homemade bacon though,
Oh,
because I
come on
make
with it.
homemade bacon. I'm gonna bring my
Nice.
homemade bacon, and we're gonna make redfish BLTs, and we're gonna eat them. I'm gonna have a whiskey drink with you,
That's right.
and
That's
then
right.
I'm a hug a fart out of you after we're done, because it
I,
sounds delicious.
I'm with it, bro. Definitely. Instead of instead of using regular mayonnaise, like you do on a BLT, use the Chipotle mayo,
Mm.
and that just wraps it all up, man. It's one of my favorites to do. It is a process, but it's phenomenal. I love
What
it.
kind of white bread now? Because BLT being from South Carolina, there's specific white breads that we use.
So really I just go get the bakery loaf bread and then I cut it myself so that way it's good thick
Oh
cut
shit. Yeah.
yep.
I'm a artisan bread maker. I make homemade sourdough. So I bring homemade
Nice.
sourdough,
Let's go.
homemade bacon,
Let's go.
and
Yep.
we can
Yep,
do a
that's a
good
party.
deal with that. Have you
That's
ever
a
deep
party.
fried redfish?
I haven't. I haven't.
Why does nobody deep fry fucking redfish?
Uh I
I mean, it's
I
gotta
ain't
be
got nothing on that.
delicious.
It's gotta be, right? I might have to try that. I actually have a guided trip tomorrow. I'm taking a client out on the motorized kayaks, and I don't know. I might bring some fish home tomorrow.
Dude, let's deep fry a red. I've never
Yeah,
had deep fried redfish. I've only
me
had it a
neither.
couple times, but
Me neither.
yeah, you just said you haven't. That's why I'm telling you need to
Yeah,
deep fry it.
yeah. I'm thinking. I mean, I don't know. Batter it and throw in some oil. It can't be bad, right?
You just do it the same way you would
Yeah,
flounder, because
yeah.
anybody that bakes flounder is lost their goddamn mind. You don't bake flounder. You deep fry flounder.
Now, we might. I know this is your
Oh,
podcast. I know
oh,
this is your podcast and all, but we might have to throw a little disagreements in here. I will say that you take that flounder and you stuff it with some crab meat and slap it in the oven. Come on now, come on. That's how I like
imitation
it.
crab meat, or
No,
you
no,
got
you
some
get
Buford blue crabs.
we got blue crabs, man. It, it- I like I said earlier, I have an Asian wife, so she loves picking at them blue crabs. My boy, like we can get it done.
She does she eat the mustard out of it too?
Oh yeah, man, she loves it
Nothing
all.
goes to waste on them
Yeah,
crabs.
no,
Yeah.
man.
Hey,
My
I
wife
look.
loves them.
It's one thing to just bake some flounder, but if we're stuffing that bitch with some Buford blue crabs, Yeah, I'm down for that. I'm down
Yep,
for that.
yep,
But I
yep.
will still tell you, I don't care how good it is. It ain't gonna be as good as. You know what? You should y'all. This next thing, you need to stuff some flounder and deep fry that bitch. Deep fried
Okay.
stuffed
Okay.
crab flounder.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. I see where you're going. Might have to try that. Might have to
But
try
you could
that.
deep fry a dog turd and it tastes good.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's why we deep fry catfish, you know.
Yeah, well, yeah, yeah. And look, catfish good eating. Don't talk shit
It
about no
is, yeah,
catfish now.
it is when it's fried, but you can't not eat it fried.
I'm not a freshwater baked fish at all. If I come to your
Really?
house and you can come over, to eat some fish, I'm like, fuck yeah. And I show up and you got some baked bass. I'm probably gonna, you probably don't have pickles. You probably ain't got no loaf bread, and your potato salad is runny, and you
Yep.
probably don't have slaw either.
Yep. Yep.
You
I
ain't
I
eating no
agree.
baked fucking freshwater fish. The fuck's wrong with you?
Now, what about on the grill though? Like, what you got? You like grilled
That's
bass
just
or
that's
striper
baked.
or
It's just baked in a grill. No, freshwater fish is meant to
fried
be eaten
only? Yep.
fried.
Yep.
I
Yep.
don't
Yep.
care who
Yep.
you are.
Yep. Yep.
I
Yep.
mean, I'm not a big fan of baked fish anyway. Now I like blackened fish like you were talking about earlier. But yeah,
Yep.
I'm just not a big baked fan. There's just nothing to it. You can add butter and salt and all your seasoning. It's still bitch still tastes baked.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, I don't really mess with the baked fish, but my wife is huge on grilled fish. She loves anything: rainbow trout, brook trout, sea
Mm,
trout, redfish on the half shell. She
mm.
loves it all on the grill. So we
Hey,
do we do a lot on the grill.
I love a good mahi mahi on the grill.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with that. You can't go
No,
wrong with that at all.
no.
I agree.
But see, to grill the fish, in my opinion, you need a hearty fish. You can't have no flaky ass fish
Right.
because I want it grilled like a steak. I want to
Yep.
put the bitch on there. I want to get all that. If you put it on tinfoil, you put your fish on tinfoil. You're not getting the
Yep.
sizzling of the coals on it,
Yep.
right? So
Yep.
again, it's baked, but
Oh,
when you get that hearty fish, that thick meat that don't flake off, and you can grill it like you would a steak, that's how I like grilled fish.
yeah. I feel that, man, and especially something like a mahi or a redfish, it really helps that because it has more of that beefy texture
Yeah, that's
and not
right.
flaky, like you said.
Meaty
Yep,
texture.
yep, yep,
So
yep.
redfish grill's good, huh? Like again, I don't know anything about redfish, so
It
it grills
is,
good.
especially so when you fillet a fish and you cut the skin off and then you cut it off the ribs and all that and you get that good fillet. Well, with redfish, if you're gonna slap it on the grill, you just do that one side and you put the scales and all on the grill, and
Mm.
and then you can eat it that way. And that's how we like to do it. It you gotta baste it with butter and maybe put some lemon on it and Cajun seasoning or salt, pepper, garlic, whatever you like for seasoning. But yeah, that's how we like to do the redfish
So
is
you
half
leave the
shell.
scales on it when you grill it. Could you take the scales off and grill the skin, or would the skin shrivel up and then it
You
kind of
you
starts falling
probably
apart?
could, but that'd be a process, man. Those scales are thick and
No
there's a
shit.
lot of them. Yeah, it's not like the flounder. You can take a spoon and
Yeah, it's
scrape all the scales.
yeah,
Yeah,
like a brim
exactly.
or a
Yep.
crappie or something.
Exactly. Same
Oh,
concept,
so
but
you can't scale them like that.
no, man, they got scales like, yay big on them. Like
Huh? You need a bigger
it'd be
spoon.
tough. Yeah, yeah. You need like like what's one of those soups like soup spoons or whatever.
A serving spoon.
Yeah, serving spoon. There it
Yeah.
is. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
When you
yeah.
go for Thanksgiving supper.
Yeah,
And you got the big ass
exactly.
spoon for the mashed potatoes. That's
Yep,
the one. That's
yep.
probably sounds like a workout though.
Yeah, it'd be rough because I I don't even trying to get your knife through them. Like you got to get underneath the scales and
Mm.
really get it. Like it's a process with them. They
Hmm.
got some serious scales, man, and it probably helps them fight off the dolphins. I don't know.
No, it doesn't.
Like,
Goddamn,
yeah,
no, it doesn't. A fucking dolphin don't give a fuck about them
violent,
scales.
bro. They are violent. I don't know if you've ever been caught underneath a feeding frenzy with your kayak, because kayak fishermen, we fish the bank, right? Them dolphins will come in strand feeding right underneath of you, not caring about anything, bro. Like,
Knock your ass out.
yeah.
You know what, a dolphin too, they might see you sitting in that kayak and be like, let me just go jump out the water
Yeah.
and fucking Goldberg this motherfucker out of his kayak.
Right. I'm waiting for the day.
Oh,
Man.
you better be running camera when that happens too, to get
Got
knocked
the
out of your kayak by a
got the
dolphin.
GoPro rolling
Fuck
all the
yeah.
time, man. I got the yak power set up. The GoPro gets power. Like it stays rolling all day. So
Speaking of dolphins, have you had an encounter? Because you sounds like you're in the tributaries and in the creeks and stuff. You ever had any encounters with a shark that scared you? That you were like, my wife is gonna be a widow.
Uh, so oddly enough that you bring that up, not so like I said earlier, we do the guided kayak fishing stuff as well, but we also offer land-based shark fishing. And that's where we take you out on the beach and I'll get in my motorized kayak and
Surf
I'll run
fishing.
bait. Yeah. I'll get in the kayak on the beach and we'll run, 10 pounds stingrays, off the beach with 1,200-pound mono leaders and all that stuff. And we'll try to put you on a 10-foot fish. So sometimes when you're running the bait out from the beach with your kayak, and we have headlamps on and we got lights around our kayaks. Every now and again, you'll get one of them sharks. They're curious critters, they'll come up and they'll see what all the commotion is up here, and you'll see them around your kayak, 8, 9, 10-foot black tips or 6-foot black tips, 10-foot bulls, stuff like that. Like, you see some good sharks around you out there when you're 200-300 yards off the beach at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, the black tip's kind of cool, but a bull shark fucking circling your kayak, it could make your butthole perk up a little
Oh
bit.
yeah. It gets a little crazy. I don't know. For the most part, though, we haven't seen anything that's like, it's gonna swallow us whole. But definitely, there's that time when you see that dark figure in the water. You're like, yo, you chill,
Bitch,
I'm chill, bro.
swallowing you whole would be a good way to go, because
Yeah.
they're just gonna start tearing limbs off and you're gonna
Right.
die. You're
Right.
gonna die a slow death of a
Yep.
shark shaking your fucking arm off.
Yep, for sure. So other than that, though, during the day, we haven't really ran into too much. I would say my biggest fear is the like the cow nose stingrays and the manta rays and stuff we have around here. Those tiger sharks will start chasing them, and just randomly they'll come 5-6 foot out of the water. I've always just waited for the day that one of them come out the water when I'm cruising down and I get smacked by a freaking stingray, dude. Like, I think the closest we've been is like a couple of feet. I mean, 2-3 foot at max, and it almost landed on my buddy's kayak. It came out the water and it dropped literally 2 or 3 feet from his kayak. I got it on GoPro and stuff. It was wild.
Nobody wants to get Steve Irwin.
Yeah, no, especially out of your kayak, man. Like that's even worse, I feel like.
Or I guess one of the things about falling out of your kayak and the stuff you're fishing in too when you're in the creeks is falling in an oyster bed, because then that's like falling in a fucking bed of razor blades, right?
Yeah.
Laced with tons of bacteria.
Yep. That was definitely a learning curve when I first started kayaking and stuff. The tide rolls out, and we have 6.5 to 9 foot tide swings where it rolls out real hard, real far, and sometimes you catch yourself in those creeks. Yeah, that's right.
Real hard, real far, baby. I ain't never heard that one though.
2 inches as hell at 100 mile an hour,
Yeah. I can't even go 100.
Yeah. So one of the things that you got to learn around here is if you get in that situation, you got to be careful about how you dragging your kayak out, because if you ain't got the right attire on your feet and moisture beds, you're gonna end up with some nasty cuts, because they don't care about them little soft shoes, Crocs, stuff like that. It don't care. It's slicing through them, man. So that it's definitely rough with the oyster beds. so you gotta be careful.
You ever go out and pick any oysters? You got good oyster beds you can hunt on?
We do. I've never personally done it.
Mm.
Just more of the if I'm feeling oysters, man, I'm just gonna go buy 'em. Those boys be putting in some work for some oysters.
You probably got to
I'd
know the right
support them.
ones to get too, so you're not over there fucking on a psychedelic trip for
Yeah,
12
yeah,
hours.
yeah. There is signs at a lot of the oyster beds. Not a lot of them, but some of them it'll tell you you can harvest oysters here or you can't. You got to be cautious of the area and why some areas are shut down and some ain't. I couldn't
Hmm.
tell you the reasons.
So you talked about shark fishing off the surf. We've had, do you know who Dora the Explorer is
Oh
on
yeah.
TikTok? You know Dora? So Dora and Dimitri have been on the podcast before, and they do a bunch of shark fishing down in Florida. They do a ton of fishing, everything. Of course, everybody does down in Florida, right?
Yep.
Catching everything.
Yep.
They do a lot of shark fishing, and they talked about Dimitri was he was the kayak guy, and they had like a little 8-foot fucking Walmart kayak with
Yep.
them hauling the shit out there. I'm like, how the fuck are you know, and of course it's Florida, right? So there's the waves are a little bit different. It's a little bit
Right.
calmer because they got a a
Yep.
longer shelf. But I was like, golly, at least get a decent kayak because y'all are taking that shit out what fucking 500 yards or something.
Yeah, depends on the reel. Like if you're using like an 80 wide or something, you want to stick around 600-700 yards. If you're using a
God
50 or a
damn.
30, you want to stick around about 300 to 500.
And so, what type of shark are y'all catching off the surf in Beaufort?
So actually last year we caught one of our biggest and most talked about is we pulled an 11-foot greater hammerhead up on
Mm.
the beach. And then we have our tigers, we have our bull sharks, we have our
Tigers?
sand
Y'all catch
tigers too.
tiger shark?
Yeah, we have tiger sharks
Fuck yeah!
here.
I know you have them, but
Yeah,
y'all catch
yeah,
them?
yeah, 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 yeah.
Damn.
We catch them. Um, pretty much any shark outside of like a great white or a 6 gill, 7 gill, those weird sharks and stuff. Well, we got them. We don't have makos. Mako would be cool, but we have and threshers. We don't have threshers, but we got like spinners. We got black tips. We have sand tigers, bull sharks. Yeah, we have quite a few
Hmm.
sharks, and we just I don't know. Like I I would like I would like to get down to Florida and get put on a mako or a thresher from the beach. That would be absolutely insane. But I would say probably our biggest and most caught shark is going to be a lemon shark.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Yep. That
Pretty short.
yeah, they're cool, man. Very distinct dorsal fin, tail fin combo there. I'm not 100% sped up with the shark lingo. I just like to put a big chunk of meat in the water and catch the biggest fish out there. That's all I go for. But they got a pretty distinct body feature. They're cool. They're probably one of the meanest sharks once you get them to the beach. I would say most people are probably bit by a lemon shark if they are shark
Hmm.
fishing from the beach
What
because they feisty.
are all these sharks catch and release, or y'all bringing
Yes.
some home and grilling up some fucking shark steaks?
No, not unless the client specifically asks, like, "Hey, we want to bring some meat home." We will harvest a legal black tip, or if we catch a 12-foot tiger shark and that client wants the meat, that client's gonna have to fight me. Like I'm not harvesting a 400-pound
God
fish
damn
on the
it!
beach.
I know, right?
Yeah, yeah, like, I'm not doing it. So if we try to keep it around, 54 inches is the legal size for keeping black tips. So we
Hmm.
try to target a black tip specifically when the client asks for shark meat. But
Is so I grew up going to North Myrtle Beach,
yeah,
and we used to go surf fish. And one day, I think I was a sophomore in high school, freshman or sophomore in high school. there were some guys out there, and they were catching small sharks. They were 12, 16-inch sharks. They called them sand sharks. And so I started doing that from the surf, and we would use squid because the squid would stay on from the crabs
Yep.
picking at it, or the
That's
croaker
right.
fucking with it. But the sharks loved it. And
Right.
so we would go out there at night for 4 or 5 hours off the surf, and we weren't taking shit. We were and again, these were 12-inch, 16-inch
That's
or
right.
so, but we were just casting from the surf. We weren't taking shit out there, so we catching small ones. But we always called them sand sharks. Was that a dogfish, or was that a sand shark, or was it a black tip? Probably.
So there's a good chance if they were calling them sand sharks, so they may have been calling them short for sandbar sharks, and they have a pretty big fin. I would say if you were in
Yeah.
Myrtle Beach, and yeah, so if they had a big dorsal
And they had a
fin,
tall the tail fin was real tall on it, with
so
tall and slender.
those are probably what you're running into are sandbar sharks, and
Yeah.
those are actually federally protected.
Huh.
You're not even supposed to take them out of the water. You're supposed to unhook everything and keep. They got to at least have like half their body in the water. So it's weird, but most people wouldn't know the difference. You can't tell the difference, but yeah, they're actually federally protected. And then another one up in that area that's real big is the Atlantic sharknose. In that size, you probably caught a few of those as well. Uh, We use 20-aught catch-all hooks for our sharks. So a little 12-inch, Atlantic sharp nose isn't
Right.
gonna
Yeah,
bite
it ain't
our
gonna bite
hook.
that.
Yeah. So we don't run into the sharp noses too much just because of the tackle we use. But this whole coast up and down Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina is loaded with Atlantic sharp noses
Are
and then
y'all
sandbars.
Are you using like whole chickens? You mentioned earlier about using like stingray and shit like that. What's the most, like what's the bait that you, if you're taking me out there, let's say you have a client that's famous. All right. You've got fucking, I don't know, Kenny Powers coming out to fish with you.
Right.
And what's the bait that you're like, yeah, this is gonna get us some good fish?
There's actually gonna be 3 because we're gonna run.
No, bitch, you got to pick one, and then we'll talk about the other two. Pick one first.
All right. So first, me personally and my partner Eli with the Salty Savage Experience. That's who we do the land-based shark fishing with. He might question me, but for me, I'm running Stingray. I'm gonna go out the night before in my kayak, and like I said, I had the lights on it, so I'm gonna fold the lights down. I'm gonna take my 12-foot gig pole, and I'm gonna push around the flats, and I'm gonna stick stingrays, dinner plate size, 10, 12 inches, and I'm gonna run those out the next day. That's me personally.
How do you hook those? Do you cut them up? Do you fold them over
Right through the nostril
and just throw the whole motherfucking thing out there?
You cut some holes in it, get that blood going, but yeah, send it. Yep. Because the fish that I want to catch personally is that's a Scooby snack to him. It's kind of just a little snack. That's all. He should be able to swallow that thing to his asshole, honestly. Like
hell yeah, sounds like a good woman right there.
Yeah, that's right. So that's what I target. Obviously, whenever we take clients out fishing and stuff, like they're not targeting a 12-foot tiger shark. They just want to catch. Most people couldn't even fathom a 6-foot fish.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm cutting a 6-foot fish in half, and I'm gonna send one on 2 different rods.
If you catch, how long of a fight on average is a 12-foot tiger shark?
A 12-foot tiger shark's probably, you're gonna be strapped to that reel for a good 30 minutes.
Damn, that's all. Fuck.
We got some big reels, man.
I mean, look, you're gonna be wore out after 30 minutes. But a shark that big, I thought it'd be a little bit longer.
No,
they're probably digging.
Oh yeah, and that's also depending. You get somebody that's, me and you are gonna fight that shark for 30, 40 minutes. You get somebody that's 120 pounds fighting a 400-pound fish.
So
You
Alex,
gotta,
how long is it gonna take
yeah.
Alex?
So if
5'1",
Alex is the Coast
130
Guard,
pounds.
yeah, I
He's
mean,
got them
we're
Coast
talking,
Guard arms.
we're talking, maybe 45 to an hour,
Bitch, it's gonna take him 2 hours. He's gonna be like that kid just getting dragged into water too. He's just leaning
yeah,
back, his heels in
yep,
the dirt, and
yep,
just pulling him in. We're gonna
yep,
have to. My fat ass is gonna have to anchor him down. What's the
right.
best, hardest fighting shark?
Oh man, I think I'm gonna have to. Again, I haven't caught all of them, but in our
Well, in your
area,
area, for what
I'm
y'all are catching when y'all take clients out.
I'm gonna have to. I would have told you up until last year it was a bull shark.
Mm.
Last year that hammerhead, it put it on us. It really did. It stripped probably a good 100 yards of line before we
Damn.
even got it to turn. It was nonstop. That reel did not stop screaming. Once we
Wow.
set the hook and that shark realized he was hooked, he didn't care anymore. He
Like,
said, "Whatever this is, it's coming with me."
how big was it?
It was 11 foot.
God,
Yeah.
that's taller than a fucking basketball goal.
Yeah, bro.
Holy
It was a
shit!
massive fish. We had it. We actually had that one from hook set to release in 20 minutes. But that's
Hold up,
strictly
you broke off. Hook set to
oh
release.
yeah, hook set to release in 20 minutes.
Damn.
So the client that was actually on that fish when we set it, he was kind of like he wasn't a bigger dude, but he was a dude that goes to the gym. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like
Some
so.
muscles.
Yeah, we gave him a little bit more drag because my partner Eli, he was like, "Yo, this." He's been down to Florida and he's caught greater hammers before. I haven't done that yet. So he was like, "Yo, this sounds familiar. I think I know what this is." So
Nice.
he started bumping that drag up a little bit, and
Mm.
that shark just started pulling harder. And he was like, "Hey man, I'm gonna have to give this the goat. Like this fish ain't fucking around." And so he gave him a little bit more gas, and we got the fish turned, got him brought in. The line actually broke while my partner Eli, he was out there about waist deep trying about to leader the shark. We
Mm-hmm.
run we run a 25-foot, 1,200-pound leader to a
Steel.
49. No, that's mono, 1,200-pound, and then we have a 5-foot bite leader of 49 strand, 700-pound steel, and a coated cable to a 20-aught catch hook. Because if you just run mono to the hook, when that shark bites the mono, it'll cut. So you want steel.
So y'all
So
using goddamn power lines.
Yeah. We're using the reels that you see on like Wicked Tuna and stuff, those big TIG 80s and Mac 50s and stuff. That's what we're using. It's literally a winch with fishing line on it. So as long as the client can hang on, man, and you're strapped to it because we put you in a harness and everything.
You have to. There ain't no fucking
Yeah,
way you can hold that bitch.
Yeah. If that fish goes while you're strapped to it, well, you're going with him.
Have you ever had a client that got like pulled over and dragged down the beach?
Yep, I had to drop the GoPro. Well, at first I was like, a little scared because we were at high tide, so we didn't have a lot of beach. And I had the GoPro up, I'm recording, and then all of a sudden, that fish, like the dude was a little bit bigger, so he thought he was good. He looked good. He was squatting in the harness and everything. And then all of a sudden that fish was done with him. Like I don't know what happened, but you seen in the video, you see his eyes get real big and he just freaking goes forward. And then they get this weird wobble step in them, and then it's over. It's over. So then we both had to dive on the client. I dropped the GoPro and everything. Yeah, it was gonna be bad. That fish was taking
That's the
him.
kind of fishing trip I want. I want to go catch a fish that makes me eat shit.
Yeah.
On camera. That's what I want. All right, go back. I asked you about your favorite bait you wanted to use. Yours is stingray. You said you had two others. What were the two others?
So, like, if we're for sure trying to put you on a fish, like we're giving 100% effort. Like I said, I'm gonna go out and get stingray because I believe stingray is what bring brings in the big fish. And then you got shark. So we might try to target like a good 3-4 foot bonnet head, or you know, if we get a decent sized black tip, we'll run chunks of shark.
Hmm.
And then the number three bait is gonna be, grouper heads or something from
Hmm.
the fish market,
Okay.
something that was caught that day. And then, down the line, if you go to the bait stores, you can get, I don't know, 12, 15-inch bonita and just run them jokers out too, because bonita are real oily. So nice
Do
scent.
y'all, what kind of, do you use weight when, obviously you have to probably use, what size weight are you throwing on something
So with our
like that?
tides and the bait that we use what's called spider weights.
Oh yeah.
They have 12 or 16-ounce lead to them, and then they have big legs that come off
Right.
of and then you fold those legs down so that way whenever this is the sand, those legs will dig into it and hold your bait while
So
that
it's
tide
not
swing
like,
comes.
when I go surf fishing out at the surf, I've usually got the triangle weight.
Yep.
And if the undertow's bad or the surf's bad, that bitch is, usually coming back in. And you gotta
Right, right.
so all right, so y'all are using those spider weights to dig in and it just
Yep.
holds it there.
Yep. And
When
then
you
whenever we catch the fish, those legs on those spider weights fold up,
oh
so it's not dragging on the sand.
yeah, okay.
Yep.
That makes sense. What are so when you're surf fishing, obviously you don't have a graph on, you don't know what's out there, or and obviously y'all are doing this as a guided service, so you probably have an understanding of what's out there, but it's the ocean, so
Right.
sandbars move, shit moves, and it's not like you're fishing rock when you're bass fishing or old home site or road bed, like the shit's moving. How are y'all, is it just a general area or y'all going for like flats? How do you know where you want to put the bait when you go out there?
So oddly enough, here in Beaufort, we don't have too many places to even have the option to do land-based shark fishing. So we only have three, maybe four good spots that even
Really?
clients could pull up to and meet
Why?
us on
Why?
the
Hold on.
beach.
All right. So I'm thinking of North Myrtle Beach, and you got goddamn miles and miles of surf. Is this? Are you in protected lands, fish and wildlife stuff, or is it just not enough beach? What's? How does that work? Why is
So
it?
just like in Myrtle Beach, so Hilton Head's right down the road. If we could have access to Myrtle Beach, or I mean Hilton Head, that would be phenomenal. But just like Myrtle Beach, there's only two places in South Carolina that land-based shark fishing is illegal. That's Horry County, Myrtle Beach, Hilton Head Island, South Carolina. So we can't actively target sharks there. You can go fishing, but you can't have big 20-aught hooks and
That's
stuff,
what. Yeah.
whatever.
Okay. So
So
if I'm out there with my little Walmart fucking surf rod with some squid on it, we're good.
and you
But if
catch
we
a
go,
shark, yeah,
yeah, but if
you're
we go
fine.
out there with some fucking tuna gear
Right.
and a dinner plate size
Yep.
stingray,
Yep. They're gonna shut you down, and it's a night in jail.
a night in jail.
Yep. $1,000 fine, 1 night in jail. Yep.
Damn it, boy.
Yep. Yep. So we're between those two right here in Beaufort, and we have Hunting Island Beach. That's our
Yeah,
main beach of
Hunting
Beaufort, right?
Island's
Yep.
beautiful.
Oh, it's very beautiful. The problem is it closes at like 6 or 7 at night, and the only way you can be on that beach at night is if you have a campground. So that means we'd have to
Mm,
have our clients get a campground and then, give us a
hmm.
pass or whatever to get on there. So that cuts a lot of our beach out. So we have what's called Rust Point and we have Lands End.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, so we're limited to those kind of spots. And like I said, I use my kayak mostly to run them out. And so my kayaks have Garmin's on them.
Mm,
So I can
okay.
see when I pick up a bunch of bait fish and stuff, I try to drop the weight and the bait right there on the bait balls that I see
Uh,
on the Garmin. And then some of the spots we go to, it's a flat off the beach, and then you see the drop on the Garmin. Well, that's what I'll do. We'll stay right on that drop when I drop them because that's where your sharks are going to be swimming.
This is kind of like bass fishing, except for fucking
Exactly.
basketball
Yeah.
size
Yep.
motherfucker. So when you have your clients out there and you're shark fishing, you're fishing at night.
Yep. We usually start about 7.
7. When do you end?
If it's a weekday, it's midnight, 1 o'clock. If it's a weekend and the clients are cool and they want to stick it out, we'll stay later. We'll stay till the sun comes up.
All right, I got one question. I'm going to say it now because I got another one. I want you to remind me of this.
Yep.
Is like when you go out there with a client, are y'all looking to catch 1 or 2? Don't answer it because I got another question. So when you take your clients out there, are y'all like coming out there and setting up a grill and fucking grilling out and drinking beers and shooting the shit? Like, is it that type of fishing experience?
It can be. We don't personally offer the grill. We actually have some packages. We have a package where we will house you and feed you. We do have that package. But for the most part, we allow the clients for like, hey, if you want to bring a grill, you want to set up your own food, you can do your thing, you can bring your own drinks. We leave it up to the client how they want to do it. We supply the chairs, the tents, if tents are needed, whatever. And we supply everything else, but if they want food and they want to grill and all that stuff, the options on the table, we also leave it as their option. But we do.
But
Yep.
what I'm saying is that you can come out there. If Alex and I come down there and go fish, we can bring like 4 or 5 12 packs of White Claw Surge.
Yeah.
And, fucking drink and have a good
Yeah.
ass time and catch a 12-foot tiger shark.
Yeah. I'll be right there with you, man. We'll be drunk as a skunk wrestling this 12-foot fish, man. We're going to figure it out.
Nobody gets a goddamn leg bit off when it's in 2 inches of water trying to release it.
That's right. That's right.
Have y'all ever had anybody bit?
No, I have taken a couple of nicks, and that's mostly because them damn lemon. Well, all right. So I will say, I did get bit last year. Not anything crazy, but a freaking shark under 6 foot is the biggest pain in the ass to deal with. And that's what got me. Sandbar shark. He nicked my calf or my shin, and I was just bleeding like a stuck pig, man. Their teeth don't play. And then also the lemon sharks.
You should took your kayak out there and dangled your foot in the water for your client. If you were a real fucking guide, you would have done that, and then you might would have caught a great white.
You're right. And I contemplated it. I was like, man, I'm bleeding pretty good. We want to take advantage of this, or like, what are we gonna do? If not, I'm gonna go bandage this thing up. But no, you're right. I definitely put it out there as an option, though. I was down. I was down.
Hey, I'm about to go chum with the best blood in the world.
Yep. Exactly.
People blood.
Yep. Exactly. So that has happened, and then I have been nicked on the hand because we're retarded, right? So we're not the smartest people in the world. They have tools that are 3-4 foot long to get the hook out of their mouth. We don't do that. We just do it with our hands because I don't know, like just laziness out of buying the right tool. Laziness. I don't know what it is, but
just laziness. But we've been real about it.
Yeah, in the last 7, 8, 10 years, I don't know that I've been doing this 11 years. I still ain't bought that tool, and
it's probably like $25.
Oh, it is. It ain't nothing. I mean, I think after shipping, you're $40-$50 into it. It's nothing, and it would save a lot of hassle. But no, we just get down there and we have either Eli or myself. We'll pull up on the shark's mouth and we'll hold him at the top of his mouth, and the other guy's in there. Yeah, trying.
Are y'all using barbed hooks? I'm guessing too.
Yep. So we smashed the barb.
Okay, I was about to ask, how the fuck do you get a barb out of a like 8, 10, 12 foot shark? Because trying to get that bitch out of a little 12-inch shark, like, is work.
Yeah, and again, this comes back to the laziness and unpreparedness that we have sometimes. We just buy the new hooks and we get the rigs, and we don't realize we forgot to smash the barb until it's too late, and it's not fun. It is not enjoyable, and I'm cussing Eli the whole time, and he's cussing me, and I'm like, bro, we gotta remember to smash these things. This is rough. We're in there like freaking balls deep on this shark, man, trying to get a hook out.
The client sitting on the beach like drinking while y'all out
Yeah.
there wrestling with a shark, and they're like, "Hey, I caught a fucking shark. Let me
Yeah.
take some pictures." And then y'all got 20 minutes, you out there fucking with it.
Yep. And that's not ideal, because we try to be 6 minutes. Yeah, we try to be 6 minutes with time on target. You know, once that shark hits the surf, you really don't want to be over 5 or 6 minutes after sexy photo time and get the clients on them, take pictures, stuff like that. You don't want to be outside of 6 minutes.
And y'all are really y'all are worried about the shark's health. Like the 6 minutes has nothing to do with y'all. It's about getting the game fish back in the water, so it's healthy and not
right. Exactly. That's it. And you know, it obviously there's things that come into play. Sometimes they're a little over, and fortunately, we haven't had a dead shark yet. Knock on wood,
awesome.
whatever. Yeah.
Good.
So we haven't had a dead shark that we didn't plan on killing yet, and that dealing with a dead 200, 300, 400-pound shark on the beach is not something that anybody wants to deal with.
What the fuck would you? I mean, geez, that would
strap it to the kayak and try to get it out there. I guess I don't know, man. I ain't been in that situation yet. Maybe start using paddles and shovels.
And you know that bitch is gonna be washed up on shore like 10 miles up beach.
Yep, exactly. And with us being the only ones in the area that really offer this kind of service,
everybody would know.
You already know. It's coming down on us, man. So we try to be very diligent and focused on the fish's health, or on the fish health.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's most sport anglers. They care about the health of the fish, albeit a bass, a crappie, whatever. Most sport anglers really do care about the health of the fish when they're putting it back. Like, you know, in bass tournaments, you have some guys that'll throw dead fish back. Oh, fuck it. And they just let them float in there when, you know, there's probably somebody at the boat ramp that would take it, or one of the guys competing would take it. And there's some, you know, some bitch ass motherfuckers that'll just let it die. But for the most part, anglers that are sport fishing, not out there bucket fishing, sport fishing, they really care about the health of the fish. All right, back to one of the questions I said that you needed to remind me of that you didn't, but I remember myself. So thank you, Paul.
I was getting there.
Look, you gotta be quick on the gun around.
Yeah, you're right. I'm missing the ball.
So Alex and I come down there, and we want to go fishing. Obviously, it's fishing. You can't guarantee you're going to catch it. But what are we looking at? Are we looking to catch 4 or 5? Or are we looking to catch 1? If we come down there, we schedule a little charter fishing off the surf for shark. What's the expectation y'all are telling us for what we're going to catch?
Well, first of all, I want to start out with saying that we would love to have y'all down here. Straight up. That'd be a fantastic time. But if y'all came down May, June, July, August, yes, and we can probably, obviously, like you said, we're not God. We can't guarantee it. But if you come down during the right months, we're looking at, you know, anywhere 3 to 5, you know, not big. I'm not saying 3 to 5, 10, 12-foot sharks, but anything in the 6 to 10 range, 3 to 5. Yeah. And
so it's gonna be a fun night of fishing. You catch 3 to 5 fucking 6-foot sharks, man. That's
we
like
have a pretty good average
5-pound bass.
Yeah, man. We and then you might even hit one of them crazy nights where the reels just don't stop. And then, you know, you need to be on a reel. I need to be on a reel. The other, you know, Alex needs to be on a reel because it can get weird. We run about 5 reels a night. So
Okay.
there's 5 reels on the beach strung out with our spread. And yeah, some nights it gets wild, but average, we're gonna put you on at least one decent, and
Nice.
then there's gonna be a couple follow-ons. A good fight. We're probably gonna get broke off 2 or 3 times and lose $120 rigs.
With all that shit, you're still gonna get broke off.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Are those like that was a fucking great white that pinged off the coast here 2 days ago? Like, do you ever wonder what fucking broke
Yes.
you off?
Yes, there's been a couple of instances that weigh heavy on my mind many times. In fact, one of our last shark fishing tournaments that we did, the Battle of the Borders, I ran out. So you know how the stingrays have wings on each
Yeah.
side of their vertebrae or their scale or their spine, whatever. I ran out a nice half size wing and dropped it out there. That thing took off, and I knew it was something weird. I set the drag on my 50 wide to everything that it had. I mean, you're talking 40, 47, 48 pounds of drag on that TLD 50 wide. That fish didn't even know that I set the drag. He just kept
Smoking
going.
it.
Yeah, just smoked it, dude. Like it was just going. And all of a sudden, I don't know if it hit an oyster. I don't know if he hit the docks that were over there. I don't know what happened. Oh, actually, no. On that one, that wasn't even that one. That on that specific fish, he bit through my coated cable.
Damn. What do you think it was?
Tiger shark, serrated teeth.
So the tiger sharks are probably the ones that are going to break you off the most.
That's the first time we've had our cable broke. I got my whole rig back and everything besides about, I don't know, a foot and a half of 49 pound or 49 strand, 700-pound coated steel cable. I got about 3 foot of it back. We run a 5-foot bite leader of that. So it had to, we're thinking just a massive tiger. It had to have been. And then there was another one. I had my pin 50 out there and I ran out I want to say it was about 3.5-foot section of a black tip, the tail section. I went to pick up the lead for the night, and as soon as I did, that thing started. It just went, and I folded back on it to set the hook. I locked the drag down at strike, and again, same thing. Just it was just running. I was like, "Oh, this is a big fish," and then I don't know what happened. Again, I don't know if it hit an oyster bed or something. It snapped. When it did, my line was literally, my pole was bowed right out in front of me, and we use big poles. It was folded out right in front of me. I mean, it was crazy, and so I'm leaned back a long ways, and when it broke, it threw me on my back, and the freaking rod snapped up my shoulder. I had a bruise running right here where the rod snapped back, hit me on my shoulder, and threw me on my back. I laid there for, I don't know, 5 minutes. I was like, oh man, that hurt so bad. So
like getting whipped as a kid with a
yeah,
switch you had to go get on your own.
yeah, exactly, man. It was rough. So that and that's what I'm saying. When them fish, yeah, we're running 25, 50-foot leaders of 1,200-pound mono, but connected to that is 150-pound braid. Well, if you don't get that fish up over the ledge there, then that means your braid's down on that ledge. Well, when there's that much tension on it, just a little nick from a shell or an oyster, that's enough to end it. And so it's hard to tell what breaks us off a lot, but I would say a lot of it's the ledge.
Okay.
Yep.
Y'all ever had a rod get yanked out of the stand you put it in and going into water?
Yep.
So it wasn't like $1,500 swimming off the
No, fortunately not. This was the learning curve of the shark fishing. I had like, I don't know, probably a $200-300 setup setting on the beach instead of a sand spike. This is early whenever I was learning shark fishing. I just pulled up on the beach with my pier cart, those carts you walk down the pier with, and it's got the rod holders on it. And I was like, man, I'm gonna put some anchors on the back side of this thing, and we're gonna put the rod in here. And that's when I learned that's why you use sand spikes, because that don't matter what you try to anchor it with, it's gonna pull that freaking pier cart over, and it's gonna take the rod. So, yeah, I've been there, done that too, and it's a learning curve. Everything you do is a learning curve, and some people learn the easy way. Some people like me learn the hard way. How I learn.
Well, if you're gonna learn the hard way, you got to be tough and have money, or pretend you have money.
Yeah, and pretend you have money. Exactly. It's more or less like you just ain't shark fishing for a couple months.
All right. Well, hey, let's back this up a little bit. I said at the beginning that we'd been working on this for months and months. We had you scheduled back in, I don't even know when I scheduled. It was October, September, whenever the fuck it was. After us trying to work on it, and you had stuff going on, and then we had you scheduled, and Helene hit.
Right.
And you took your Tacoma. And you started loading that bitch up with water and supplies. I think, within a week of Helene hitting, and we're coming up to Western North Carolina, dropping off supplies and stuff. And you texted me and says, hey man, I can probably do this or something. I don't know. I have to go back and look at the text. It's like, nah, dude, do what you got to do. We'll get this rescheduled. And you spent 3-4 months running supplies and then running fuel and all that stuff up there. What was obviously the catalyst for doing that? You wanted to go help,
right?
And you did that. What was that like, going up there and being up there doing that and helping people? What was that like for you?
So I've been in the Marine Corps. One of my deployments was the humanitarian mission going to Haiti when Port-au-Prince got the earthquake. So I was familiar with disaster relief a little bit. And actually, it was the next. I was boots on deck the day after the storm.
Okay.
I was laying in bed the night when the storm rolled through, and we got hit with it that night, and we lost power for a little bit. I got to use my generator. I was like, cool. And
hell yeah.
Then yeah, exactly. I was like, hell yeah. Freaking been 7 years.
Yeah.
Waiting to use
I told my wife we needed this, and I paid $500 for a generator, and I crank it up 3 or 4 times a year to run because look, I told you, honey, we were gonna need this generator.
Exactly. I was so excited. So, it hit us first a little bit, and then shortly after, we're talking the night or the next morning when it hit us that evening, or Western North Carolina. So I watched the video. I was laying in bed after we'd got power on that night and everything. I was laying in bed and I seen a lady that posted. It was on TikTok or Facebook or something, and you could tell she was very stressed out, and she had shown where her neighbor's trailer used to be, and the water took it out. And she was like, my neighbor's trailer used to be here. I don't know what's going on. And I don't know. I was like, holy crap, these people are in serious danger. So I went to bed after that video. I may have watched 1 or 2, but that one really stuck with me. And I woke up the next morning and I looked at my wife and I was like, I'm going to North Carolina. And she was like, what? And I made that post on Facebook that's saying like, hey, I'm going to North Carolina. I'm going to take the kayaks. We're going to get supplies. We're going to go up here and do something we can. Do what we can for somebody. I went up there just trying to help, get people off the mountains, search and rescue stuff. That was my main goal. The fuel guy and running the supplies was not that. It just transformed to that. Right. I wanted to go up there and make a difference and try to help somebody. And once I got up there, I got pushed around from relief centers being set up, trying to get ahead of the relief centers was the struggle. I wasn't trying to run supplies.
Mm-hmm.
I had a very high dollar radio. I had chainsaws. I had freaking drones. I had stuff to do some things. The radio that I took, I could talk to the helicopter pilots and guide them in and stuff like that. So, I went up there and I just wanted to make a difference, make an impact. And fortunately, the Heathens Outdoors community, man, they I can't thank them enough. Honestly, they pushed me to really be up there and make the difference that we did make,
Mm-hmm.
and that was clutch. There was things that was kind of off putting, without trying to get into the politics of things, respecting the show and stuff. But there was moments that really tugged on the heartstrings, and there was moments that were like, "Yo, I what are we doing here right now?" So it was a roller coaster of emotions through and through, 100%. But we got up there, we did our thing, man. We helped a lot of people. We helped people in Back Cave. We helped people in Burnsville. We helped people in Eastern Tennessee. We was all over the place. At one point in time, I was delivering more fuel than the what is it, the Sentinel pipeline or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I can't remember the name of the pipeline, but yeah, we delivered over 3,000 gallons of fuel in 48 hours.
Yeah, we had
So
a good friend of the show that's been on a couple times, Dustin, Hands On Adventures, aka Hand Job Adventures, and he lives in Asheville. So the next morning he was out and about doing stuff, and we had a podcast with him on talking about things like
yeah,
that.
that's
So
awesome.
and us, and, me being from North Carolina, we had people in the area, and
Yeah.
so that's that. It was great to see folks come together and do that. Hey, you mentioned Heathen Outdoors. We
Yep.
haven't talked about it. Your background has some kind of fucking wicked ass toothy fish with horns coming out its back. Heathen Outdoors. Tell us about Heathen Outdoors.
So Heathens Outdoors, basically me and my teammate came up with it because at the end of the day,
Who's your
man, we're
teammate?
Joe Lee, man. He doesn't really do much social media and stuff. He's a government contractor guy. He teaches people how to use the radios. The your Rangers, your Delta Force. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's up there. He's got some clearances and stuff. So he he does good things still. He was in the Marine Corps with us, with me, and he decided to keep doing his thing in the civilian sector. So he kind of stays off the social media game, just
Yeah,
because he
he
has
needs
to.
to.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So uh we were just bullshitting one day. Once we got on the Elite Series with Pat Malone, I was like, bro, we need a team name. Like, I don't know what we're gonna do this. And after
Real
a
quick,
few Jamesons, yep,
I gotta interrupt you. Y'all,
yep.
when he's saying the Elite Series, he's not talking about the Bass Fishing
Oh no,
Elite Series. Just FYI,
yep, yep, yep,
different
yep,
Elite Series.
yep.
Saltwater
Elite
Elite
Fishing
Series.
Series, yep.
Yeah.
Elite Fishing Series is what it's called.
Saltwater
Yep,
Elite Series.
correct,
Okay.
correct. Yep,
All
yep.
right, continue.
So yeah, we just sat at the bar, man, and we had a few Jamesons, a few shots, and we just, man, we're just a couple freaking heathens out here kind of fishing and doing our thing, So we came up with Heathens Outdoors, and we want people to fully understand when they get involved with us, like, hey, if you think we're doing some fuck shit, well, it's Heathens Outdoors. Like, what did you expect?
It's in the name, bitch.
Yeah, it's in the name. So that was one of our goals. We wanted it to be up front for when people, if they didn't like something we did, well, sorry about it, man. It's in the name. You should have expected it. So that's where it came from, and we've just kind of been rolling with it. We got some shirts coming with HO down the sleeve for Ho, and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
it's
Get them hose
definitely,
shirts.
yeah, exactly. Get them hose shirts. So
Hey,
you
you
know
need to
we,
put that on the back.
yeah,
And put Bass and Brews, brought to you by Bass and Brews at the bottom, since I gave you that idea.
hey, that's right, man. That's right. Um, so yeah, no, that's where it came from. Is we just wanted something more down to earth and to give people a real expectations about what to expect from us. Because when we go to these tournaments, man, we take the tournament seriously because of our sponsors. You know, we want to do good for our sponsors, but at the same time, we don't leave our roots. We make sure we stay out drinking until about 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. We got to be at the boat ramp at 7. You know, like stuff like that. Like, don't expect a lot from us, bro. We're here partying right now.
Shit, taking wet doo-doos at the
Yeah,
damn boat ramp, and
yeah.
puking behind the truck, and
Yeah,
having a good
my
time.
teammate actually bought a Porta because like I said, he has the PA-14 as well. So you got that big front storage.
Yeah,
He has
yeah.
a portable shitter that he stores in
Oh
there.
my god. Why do you
Yeah,
take a shitter on your kayak?
because he wants to poop on his kayak. He doesn't want to get out of it.
There's a fucking drive hole. You can poop in it, and then
He
you need to, like, once you
he
poop
ain't
in it though,
waffle
you got to be
smashing
able to
that.
get the doo-doo. You got to get the doo-doo out through the drive hole. Otherwise, you put your drive in and you got turds floating around in your fucking kayak.
So that is exactly what drove him to the porta shitter. Is he had to do that through his drive, and then he had to waffle
Uh,
stomp it through there.
yeah. Look, you can't waffle stomp it through there though,
Nope,
because it's just now
nope,
you just got poop water
nope.
going in your
That
rod tubes, and
that was exactly
yep.
why he was like, "I'm not dealing with getting the poop out of my drive anymore."
Well, I guess it's different bass fishing because at least my lakes where I am, there's not a lot of houses on the lakes, and
Right,
so you can go bank yourself and get up in the woods and go pinch one off.
right.
But if you get over towards Queen City area in Charlotte, there's houses. You can't be shitting in people's front
Yeah,
yards. I mean, it's hard to do that. So okay, I can understand
yeah.
that, because
Well, and for us,
I'm too
we have
fat
the
to shit off
marsh.
the edge. Like, if I
Right.
tried to lay my big ass butt off the edge and pinch one off, there'd be shit on me,
That's a
the
right.
boat,
Yo,
like
missing
everywhere. I can't,
gear.
or I would flip the motherfucker over.
Yeah.
Like, okay, that makes
Yep,
sense. I
yep.
get it. I
And then
get it.
also, like I said, for us, we don't have the luxury of pulling up anywhere. Like if you try to get out in the marsh, you're gonna sink to your asshole anyways.
Well,
You
that's
know?
good. You get the marsh grass and you
Yep,
dookie in it, then you do a little slide across the
yep,
marsh grass, and your
yep,
butt's
yep,
wiped.
yep. I don't disagree with you. I'm saying there's advantages to it, but it's not enjoyable. Yeah, no. So that's how I ended up with that. And I don't know, man. Like I tried to, I can only count on a handful of times how many times I've had to get out of my kayak to go like
Mm.
waste a sock, basically. But my teammate, man, it don't matter. Like he could
He
poop
got the
before he
shit.
leaves the house, and as soon as he hits the water, he's like, "Yo, I'm gonna go deep in this marsh over here." And I'm like, "Bro, didn't we just wait on you for 20 minutes because you were pooping?" So, everybody's body's a little different. I don't need a porta shitter, but he does. So he's got one.
Hey, man,
And not
props to.
bad.
But see, that's the thing about you saltwater guys, is y'all have room to take a portable shitter. Where bass guys has so much shit in there, if they took a portable shitter, they'd be like, "Oh my god, I didn't catch fish today because I had to leave 4 rods at home because I got my poop bucket
That's
with
right.
me."
That's right. Yeah, no,
Hey,
and he's a very simple guy too. He don't have fish finder. He doesn't have any electronics. He don't have anything. He just has his Hobie with the pedal drop. So
there you go.
yeah,
Baller's
yeah,
gonna
he's
ball.
simple.
And
Yep,
so y'all, all right, Heathen Outdoors, y'all have a podcast.
we do.
You said you got 4 episodes in, and
Yep.
then you went to North Carolina. Oh, excuse me, hold on. Damn it, boy! I had a burp that didn't come up. You went to Western North Carolina, And so where are we at with the podcast? Is it defunct? Are we on a hold? Are we recording again? Where are we at on that?
Yeah, so our plan is we're gonna start recording again, and this year, actually, I got a Bluetooth podcast gear coming in. It'll be here tomorrow, actually.
Nice.
So we're gonna try to, like me and you talked about earlier in the green room, getting clients and getting interesting people and stuff to do the podcast is one of the struggles. So what we was thinking is like when we're set up on the beach for these shark fishing trips and stuff, set up the podcast gear and
Mm,
bring the clients on with the podcast as well and just talk about our night while we're there on the beach is one of the
that'd be
things
interesting.
that we're
Be
looking at.
different.
Yeah,
Be
would.
different
Yeah,
than podcast. I would.
yeah. So that's one of the things in the works, and then also one of our other co-hosts, Matthew Green. He does the thermal hog hunting.
Mm,
So his name, his little section in the Heathens Outdoors, his is Nighthawk Thermal Drone and Recovery. So you can hit him up to use his thermal drone to recover your deer during deer season. You can get herd management, stuff like that from him. But also you can hit him up and he'll take you on a thermal hog hunt and
mm.
do that kind of thing. So
He should.
he
Hey, real quick. Hold on, real quick.
yep,
Tell him this, and then also he needs to Bass and Brews copyright it or whatever the fuck it would be.
that's right.
He should market this to the wives and girlfriends of these guys going out and kayak fishing off the coast, because if them motherfuckers get lost, go out and find them.
That's valid. I actually never thought about that. But yeah,
Yeah,
you're right. You're right. I should bring that up
it's
to
like a little
him.
insurance policy. Hey,
Yeah.
for $100 a month, if something happens to your husband,
Yep.
I can go out there and find him.
Yep.
Or if you don't want me to find him, I cannot find him.
Right, right. That's gonna be another $100. Yeah, no, actually that's genius. Yeah, for real. But yeah, he can you can hit him up and he'll put you on an adventure as well. And there's a whole package deal with our system here. You can pay for a whole package deal where you go red fishing with me on the motorized kayaks, you go nighttime thermal hog hunting with him, and then we take you out on the beach and put you on a shark. We call it the ultimate man's adventure. So
So you're telling me I can get a package to where we go catch redfish with you, then we go shoot some fucking pigs. We bring the pigs we shot out to the beach and cook some barbecue, have a pig picking on the beach, and catch 12-foot sharks.
absolutely. Yep.
Look, that would be the second greatest day of my life after getting married. Actually, that would be the fourth greatest day of my life after getting married and the birth of my two children.
Yep. Yep. Yeah. I mean, we try to do it all in 72 hours. We can stretch it to 96, but we try for 72.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I would do that.
Yep. Yep. And then we also we have two packages involved with that where you can buy it and you do your own housing, you do your own food, the whole night that, or you can just pay us to put you up in housing and feed you. So
Fuck that. We're camping.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
You're
yeah.
camping. We're all camping
Yeah,
together.
I'm in it. I'm in it. I'm however y'all want to do it. We're in it.
We're camping.
But yeah,
Yep.
we can do it. That like I said, we try to be we try to offer a broad range of stuff. You know, I don't know anybody else in America that offers you a package like that where you can go catch redfish,
Redfish,
big fish.
hog hunting,
Yeah.
and shark catching.
Yep.
Yeah, that's pretty damn awesome.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So that those packages don't get booked, frequently. Usually, he'll get a hog hunting or he'll get a shark fishing or I'll get a redfish trip. But yeah, that is something we do offer though, for sure.
Well, 3 days is a lot for somebody to carve out that time,
Yeah.
especially if they got to travel.
Yeah.
But for the folks that can do it, man, that's fucking awesome.
Right.
That would be. I mean, that's kind of getting into you know, I mean, shit, I'm over here fucking fumbling around on the words I'm trying to think, but like that's a bucket list
Right.
item to be able to go do all that at once. And you're
Right.
probably going. I mean, I'm assuming the hogs maybe y'all cook up, or you can send them home with the hog meat.
I mean, we could send you home with the hog meat, if that's something you wanted, but most of the time we stack them up for the amigos, man, and then they come get them during the day and stuff.
Bo, that's what you got to add in there. Is you need when they cook the hog, that's the hog meat that you get to take home. Seriously, I mean,
Yeah,
like, ain't nobody gonna cook a pig in
I
that
agree.
way.
I
mean,
agree.
It's gonna be.
I
It's gonna
agree,
be
boy.
something
I,
else.
yeah, I agree. It's gonna have some flavor, boy. It's not just gonna be salt and pepper. No,
Yeah, that's right.
for sure.
It ain't gonna be your barbecue restaurant barbecue either.
Right.
We're talking
Right.
about some shit that is on a different fucking level.
Yep, you're gonna have birria pork tacos and shit by the end of it. Yep. So yeah, no, that like I said, the options on the table. That's something that we'd want clients to tell us prior. That way we can plan for it. But yeah, no, we're pretty malleable about whatever the client wants to
Spell
do.
malleable.
Malauable.
Nope, not even
Maybe?
fucking close.
Nope.
See, if Alex was here, I would have asked him that. But he's not here, and he has not texted me back. I hope he's alive. I hope he didn't shit his guts out, and he's not here. DW, I told you before we started that I was going to need you to make jokes about Alex just out of the blue during this podcast if he wasn't here with us. And do you know what the fuck you failed at tonight?
Mate, cracking on him. I tried here and there, man. The only thing I got is Coast Guard. I hit him with the Coast Guard a couple of times.
But I led you into that one. I set that one up. You were just supposed to make jokes. I told you all you needed to know about him. He was in the Coast Guard and he's short. And you made zero jokes on your own. And I'm very disappointed in that. It's an hour and 47 minutes in on a Thursday night. I mean, I did see you ran out of alcohol. So you should have gone up and taken a tinkle and got you another drink. But, you didn't. And this was a great podcast, but you really fucked up in that.
I mean, I don't disagree, and I'd be lying to you if I had like if I could be mean to somebody randomly, that would be a great skill that I wish I could possess.
But it's not random. It's not random. He's the guest co-host of this podcast. That's not random.
But it makes it
not
tough
here.
when he's not here.
Wow.
Because, well, like I said, I don't know.
Say something mean about me.
No, that's rude, dude.
Bitch, I asked the questions here and you answer them, and that was a shitty answer. All right,
I know. I hate. I don't know, man. I just can't be mean to people unless they give me a reason, and then I'm gonna bring fucking wrath down on them.
Well, I'm glad you have a beard made out of pubic hairs.
Yes. I was trying to resemble yours, really.
Well, you did a good job of it, minus the gray, because you don't have any kids. I'm expecting because yours isn't gray, but mine is also made out of pubic hairs.
Yes, we have the same features.
Yes, when I trim my beard and when I trim my balls in the bathroom trash can, you have no idea which one's which.
Sounds like you need to do some manscaping more frequently, my boy.
You ever nick your nuts with a fucking trimmer?
No.
Look, you want to talk about chumming some water for some fucking shark? Go to trim your balls and nick your nuts. That shit, look, it's craziness. I trim my balls.
See, I don't use the trimmer. You know what I'm saying? I do straight blade down on that thing.
No, fuck that. I don't want to get neutered. God damn. Fuck that. I'm colorblind. I ain't putting no straight razor around my nuts.
I don't need anything taking the Like you got the star of the show, and then you got other things. I don't need anything taken away from the star of the show right now. So I try to get every inch I can.
That's what I was about to say right there. When you got to trim your pubic area as a man to make it look bigger, you're not working with much. But as long as it works, I guess there ain't nothing more outside of that.
Listen, man, it's effective. That's all I know.
All right, look, here we go. We're getting towards the shotgun round. If Alex was here, we'd have started this shotgun round at least 20 minutes ago, if not 25 minutes ago. But because
good, we don't like that guy anyways. We don't want him here.
That short bitch.
Fuck that
little fucking munchkin. This motherfucker sits on a 5-gallon bucket and feet still don't touch the ground. I've said that joke twice now, but it's the truth. It's the truth. Matter of fact, he won't listen to this podcast. So when he does in April 11th, when he gets down here, as a joke, I'm gonna have him sit on a 5-gallon bucket.
Nice.
Just so I can show people his feet don't touch.
Put it on a platform too and dig the ground out a little bit.
I'm gonna put it on the picnic table, and then when he's sitting there and his feet are dangling, I'll push him off like a Jackass episode.
That's right. That'd be good.
Well, look, we're getting towards the shotgun round here. And before we start the shotgun round, we want folks to shout out their sponsors, the people that they want to thank that have helped them get to where they are now with fishing, with whatever they're doing. Because after the shotgun round, you might get dropped, and the people you thank might hate you. So go ahead and give a shout out to the folks that you want to give a shout out to.
Yeah, absolutely, man. First and foremost, obviously the Heathens Outdoors community, man. They've had my back through and through, and I can't appreciate all of them.
Is there a place to find Heathen Outdoors?
Yeah. No website, but all the social medias. We're on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. That's pretty much the gist of them. We don't mess with Twitter or X or whatever it's called these days. You can check out our podcast on Spotify. Again, we got some things coming up with that we're gonna get fired back up on that now that I'm here. And then also, I gotta show love to Carolina Hood. I gotta show love to Hoju Tattoo and Buford Bodock and Supply, Carolina Tavern. If you're ever in Buford, make sure you go there and get some wings. Those are the people those are my A1 since day one, man. They've had my back, so I can appreciate that. And mostly again, just the community that stands behind us. I can't thank them enough. Honestly.
I'm gonna call you a bitch real quick.
You should.
Don't take it personally. But bitch, are you gonna shout out your guidance services for the shark fishing and the fucking red fishing? Jeez.
I try not to think about myself too much,
But you can't if you don't shout it out, people can't find it. And we've got tens of 15s of people listening to this that might want to come down and catch a redfish, shoot a fucking hog, and catch a 12-foot tiger shark.
So as far as that goes, They those are more or less, my partners, except for the guided red fishing trip. But you got the Salty Savage experience, and again, they're a sponsor for my Elite Series fishing. So that, like you said, that works out. But check out Eli Glisten on Facebook with the Salty Savage experience.
Spell Glisten.
Glisson.
Okay, Eli Glisten. Okay.
Yep. He's gonna be with the Salty Savage experience, and then I'll be there with him. We'll put you on a solid fish from the beach, and then you can check out Matthew Green with Nighthawk Thermal Drone and Recovery on social media, and he'll put you on the pigs with the thermals. And then if you want to catch some redfish from motorized kayaks, check out some beautiful scenery here in Beaufort, South Carolina. Reach out to me, man, and we'll get you on some redfish at Heathens Outdoors. Collectively, that's all of us,
And all of that's in Beaufort. Even the pigs are in Beaufort.
So the hogs, what we do is we make about a 3-hour drive upstate to get the hogs because we don't have the hogs here.
We're out in Barnwell County.
Allendale, right outside Allendale, and then you got Greenville County also. got a couple spots.
Yeah, I worked at Savannah
Or Greenville
Riverside.
City. Oh yeah. So
Yeah,
you're familiar with that
SRS.
out there.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
lived
yeah.
in Aiken, North Augusta for about
Oh
10
yeah,
years, so
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
very
yeah.
familiar.
You're familiar with it then.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They need
so
all the hog killing they can
yep,
get up in Barnwell and Allendale.
yep,
But if you go through
exactly.
Estill, don't speed through Estill. They will bust your ass in Estill.
Yep, for sure.
Pretty
Yep.
much from Beaufort to Allendale County, don't go 5 miles over the speed limit. Do not have your phone in your hand. And the only gas stations you should stop at are the one that there are people at.
That's right. They ain't got a lot to do, man. They gonna get you if they can, for sure.
All
You're
right, look,
spot on.
man, we're gonna get in the shotgun round here. All right,
All right.
I'm gonna ask you a rapid fire set of questions.
Oh boy.
Oh wait, hold on. Where the fuck is it? Hold on. We're going to the shotgun round. Let me try. All right, back up. Let me try to be Alex. We're going to the shotgun round.
It's time.
Boys and girls, let's see how far down the rabbit hole we can go today. Woo! It only takes one.
Welcome to the shotgun round. It's my Alex's voice because
Yep.
he's a chain smoker, because he's in the Coast Guard, and that's the most exciting part of their day usually.
Well,
All
yeah.
right. I'm going to ask you a rapid fire set of questions. They're
Okay.
yes or no, or you choose an option that I give you. You need to spit it out quick. No thinking, no umming, no this or that. It's just straight up questions that you
Tracking.
answer. Can you handle that?
I think so.
Can you handle that?
Yes.
Okay, there we go. See, you're starting it off right. Crocs or flops?
Crocs.
Kayak guy. Almost every kayak guy chooses Crocs because they ain't nothing like flip flops trying to pull your boat somewhere and your fucking feet keep sliding out
Yep.
of them.
Yep.
You gonna spend more on a rod or a reel? And I'm excited about this question because this is a saltwater question. Rod or reel?
Real.
All the time. You take a
Yep.
$25 reel and a $300 or a $25 rod and a $300 reel, and you can make it work.
Yep.
You ever broke a rod
Yes.
catching a big shark?
Yes. Lost one too.
Well, we've already covered the loss.
Yep.
Did you get the fish in after the rod broke?
Yes.
Fuck yes. Fuck yeah.
Yep. Ugly stick. Shout out.
This, first of all, that is amazing that you fucking broke an ugly stick. Because I have shut ugly sticks in the tailgate of a truck, and they're
Yep.
like hanging out, and you open it, they're fine.
Yep. 6 foot sandbar wrapped it around a pylon.
Broke the ugly stick and still
12
got
foot
in.
surf rod. Yeah.
I hope if you recorded that, you need to send them that video and be like, sponsor us, motherfuckers.
Yo.
That is awesome. Broken ugly stick. That's
Yep.
great. And then still got the fish in. Fuck
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
Sorry, my phone's all right. Here we go. This is a bass fishing question. I'm going to ask it to you, and then I'm going to ask you a saltwater question. All right.
All right.
In a 3-hour session, you want to catch 5 2-pounders or 1 7-pounder. This is bass fishing.
1 7-pounder.
If you would have said 5 2-pounders, being a saltwater guy, I would have come through this screen and slapped you
Yep.
across your pubic hair face.
Yep.
All right. In a 3-hour session, do you want to catch 1 10-pound tiger shark or 1 5-pound lemon shark
Ooh, tiger.
all day long?
All day long. They're more rare.
Pineapple
Any of the
on
tigers.
pineapple on pizza?
No.
Yes or no? Nope. My man.
No.
I was curious about that because being from Kansas, you fucking weirdos might like pine. Do y'all even have pizza in
I
Kansas?
ran away from Kansas, bro. It wasn't because I fit in.
I feel like ordering pizza in Kansas would be the same thing as ordering sushi in Kansas. A terrible idea.
Yep. Yeah, pretty much everything involved with Kansas is a terrible idea.
No, another bass fishing question, because that's what we usually have on. But
Yeah.
maybe you can answer it, maybe you can't. Wacky rig or Texas rig?
Oh, wacky rig, man.
Oh, see, this man's fished for some bass before.
I grew up in
There you
Kansas. Now we ain't got no redfish.
Shit, y'all ain't got no big fish either. What you
No,
catching
you
them,
right,
them
you
1
right.
pounders, baby?
You're right. You're right. We don't, but we got big deer.
Out there, yes, y'all do. You out there in them cattle ponds throwing a wacky rig
Yeah,
around,
yeah,
catching them 1
exactly,
pounders.
exactly.
Slow jams or hype music?
Oh, hype
No,
music, man.
wait. I'm sorry. You're on your way to the ramp before a tournament. Slow jams or hype music?
Hype music all the way, all the way. I'd be listening to 50 Cent or something on the way, my boy.
Oh,
like,
fuck yeah.
yeah.
Okay. I like it.
Yep. 4 o'clock in the morning, I'm playing 50 Cent. Let's go.
All right, we're getting down towards the end, and these are all food questions.
Okay.
All right. You ready?
Yep.
Have you ever eaten largemouth bass?
Yes.
Was it good?
No.
The fuck, man? Why do you raise me to love you and then take me down to wanting to not love you anymore? I don't understand.
Oh, you hit me with they got to be yes and no questions. So the fact of the matter is, like, I don't mind it, but if I had to eat a freshwater fish, it's gonna be a rainbow trout or a striped bass. I think they taste better.
Striped bass really aren't freshwater fish, but I get your point.
Well, what?
I mean, real striped bass come from the ocean into freshwater.
Okay, well, the hybrids, like at Lake Hartwell, whatever you want to call those things, they're pretty tasty. But at the end of the day, I don't mind largemouth, but I also haven't had it fried, like you said earlier.
Bitch, you've eaten largemouth bass that's not fried. See, that's your problem. That's where you fucked up. That's where you fucked up.
My wife's Asian, bro. She's Filipino. We slap it on the grill.
No, we look, largemouth bass ain't, you got this. What's your wife's name?
Marianne.
You got to catch some largemouth bass about Marianne. I've got 3 gallons of peanut oil. I have a pound of corn flour.
Yep.
We are not grilling this fish.
I mean, I'm down.
You know what? I bet she'd love it. She'd love it.
Probably. So I'm in. I'm gonna take that for. Like, I'm gonna take your advice on it. And the next time I eat bass, it's gonna be fried.
I'll tell you what. If I ever get a chance to come down there, we're gonna do all the fishing and stuff.
Yep.
It's Beaufort, so we can go find somewhere to catch a bass or two.
Guaranteed.
We're gonna catch some bass, and I'm gonna fry them.
Yep.
And we're gonna eat fried bass. All right.
All right, I'm in. Next.
Have you ever eaten beaver?
No. Well,
never eaten beaver.
the actual term and the animal, no. The slang for beaver, maybe once or twice.
How'd you prepare it?
A little salt and pepper.
Interesting. I'm not sure we've ever had eaten beaver with salt and pepper on here, but here we are today. I like it though. I like it. Look, it's beaver. Y'all got some good beaver down in there.
Yeah, I mean,
you know enough people out in the woods. Y'all go trap some and smoke it up just like you would a hog.
Yeah.
Salt and pepper on beaver. Interesting. Wow. Marianne. Anyway. All right. This is the last question. This is the most important question.
So excited.
We call our fans brewskis, and they're a loving bunch, an accepting bunch, great people. But this right here, they will judge the fuck out of you.
Oh boy.
And this is going to take you to the highest highs of being a serious angler or the lowest lows to the dark waters. What are your top 3 sandwich proteins?
Ooh. I mean, I gotta go with. Man, obviously, it's got to be bacon, ham, turkey. I guess, right?
Bacon, ham, and turkey. You can't fuck up a bacon, ham, turkey.
I mean, that's what I'm thinking.
But why turkey?
It's the smoked turkey I put on my sandwiches.
Smoked turkey.
That's what came to mind.
I love it. You said bacon first, and everybody.
Well, yeah.
I love it. That's good.
Yeah.
That was good. That was good. You did not say beans. No bean sandwich. You did not say cheese. And these are all for real. We had somebody say a bean sandwich. We had somebody say a cheese sandwich. And we've also had somebody say a spinach sandwich.
Well, you said protein, so I would.
Fucking exactly.
Like,
I mean, beans do have proteins in them, but
yeah.
I would never say a bean sandwich. But yeah,
no, that's like some like I feel like they gotta be British or something, right? Like beans on toast or something.
Goddamn beans. And those ain't even real fucking baked beans. They're beans in like a fucking
tomato sauce or something. Yeah, ketchup sauce. Yeah,
those
you're
aren't
right.
even
You're
real.
right.
There's no bacon in them. There's no
Nope.
onion. Like
Nope.
they haven't been baked. There's just fucking baked beans out of
brown
a can.
Sugar. None of exactly.
Yeah, no brown sugar. No nothing. The fuck.
No.
Look, they do have an excuse. They would have never had potatoes, peppers, or any of that shit if it wasn't for the Americas. And the British from the old world, the 1500s, 1600s, the British never got, these motherfuckers conquered the world for spices and didn't use them in their own goddamn food.
Right.
What the fuck is up with that?
Yep. Well, I mean, to be fair, I don't think they really have a lot of foods to put spices on. I mean, at the end of the day, you got sausage, eggs, beans, and toast. What else do they eat over there?
Potato chips, which are fries.
Yep.
They got white people fries. Ain't not goddamn nary seasoning on them.
Nope.
Anyway, we ain't gonna get into that shit. Look, this is Bass and Brews. DW, thank you for coming on. This was a great time, man. Alex didn't show up. Apparently has oops and poops so bad that he couldn't text me back. I hope he's alive because in a month he's supposed to come down and see me. And you know what? Here we are. But thank you for coming. Appreciate it. Had a good time.
Man.
Thank y'all for listening. Look, go join our Patreon bullshit. If you need to have more information on that, DM Alex or go listen to a previous episode. We are out. Hey, hang on. Don't go anywhere, DW. Bass and Brews Podcast, your weekly distraction from quality podcast content. Hey-o!